If she had been a white prosecutor, they would have done everything to resolve this. Flora Shanklin, sister of Alberta Jones. On the morning of the 5th of August, 1965, the Ohio River revealed a horrifying secret. Floating on the water's surface was the body of Alberta O. Jones, a pioneering African-American attorney, civil rights activist, and the first lawyer of a young boxer named Cassius Clay, who would later become Muhammad Ali. She was only 34 years old. The autopsy revealed she had been beaten, rendered unconscious, and thrown into the river to drown. The murder of Alberta shocked Louisville, Kentucky, but the careless investigation and the reality that the case remains unsolved nearly 6 decades later have led many to believe that racism and sexism played a crucial role in denying justice. Early life and education. Alberta Odell Jones was born on the 12th of November, 1930, in Louisville, Kentucky, to Sarah, Sadie, Frances Crawford, and Odell Jones. She grew up in an America steeped in racial segregation, yet from a young age proved herself to be an outstanding student. Jones attended Louisville Central High School and later the Louisville Municipal College for Black students, which merged with the University of Louisville in 1951. She graduated 3rd in her class, a vivid testament to her resilience and sharp intellect. In 1956, Jones shattered a major barrier when she became the first African American to attend the University of Louisville School of Law. Facing a hostile environment, she chose to transfer to Howard University School of Law, graduating 4th in her class in 1958. The following year, she became one of the first African American women to pass the Kentucky bar exam. By 1959, Jones had opened her own law office in downtown Louisville, a rare achievement for any woman of that era, made even more remarkable by the fact that she was a black woman in the deeply segregated South, a legal mind for a champion. Jones's first prominent client was Cassius Clay, a young and charismatic boxer. In 1960, she negotiated the contract for his first professional fight, ensuring fair terms. Clay would later become Muhammad Ali. Yet Jones's pioneering role in protecting his earliest steps is often forgotten. Jones was a respected member of the Fall City Bar Association, the Louisville Bar Association, the American Bar Association, and the Eta Zeta chapter of Zeta Phi Beta. Beyond her legal work, she was also a persistent voice for civil rights, political and civil rights activities. Jones's aspiration for justice went beyond the courtroom. She founded the Independent Voters Association, registering more than 6,000 African American voters in Louisville. She even rented voting machines and opened classes on how to vote right in her office. Those efforts helped reshape the city's political landscape. In the 1961 election, black voters contributed to the overthrow of the mayor and several city council members. By 1963, the new administration passed the first public housing ordinance in the South, a landmark victory in the fight against racial segregation. That year, Jones also took part in the civil rights protest in Louisville and was present at the March on Washington in August, breaking more barriers. In 1964, Jones once again made history by becoming Louisville's first female city attorney, and at the same time, the first African American to hold that position. Less than a year later, in February 1965, she reached another milestone, being appointed prosecutor in the family court. Once more, she was both the first woman and the first person of color to hold this role in Jefferson County. That appointment was a turning point. The cases she prosecuted were mainly against white male defendants accused of domestic violence. a shocking reversal within the system of racial and gender power. In a society where black women were often stripped of legal authority, Alberta Jones now held the power to compel white men to answer before the law. For Louisville's black community, she was not only a symbol, but also a living testament to the quiet yet powerful transformation of justice. She worked with the diligence and courage that had carried her through law school and the civil rights movement, refusing to be subdued by any threats. The night Alberta Jones was murdered, her final hours began in peace, at home with her family. On the evening of the 4th of August, 1965, Jones sat on the sofa reading a newspaper about President Kennedy's assassination. Her sister, Flora Shanklin, went upstairs to sleep, leaving Alberta in the living room. Around 10 p.m., the phone rang. On the other end was her friend, Gladys Wyckoff, urgently asking to meet to discuss a lawsuit against a beauty salon. Jones explained that a prosecutor did not handle such cases, but Wyckoff insisted. According to Flora, Wyckoff even teased Jones that she had become arrogant since taking her new position. Alberta, aware that her success might cause misunderstandings among her friends, eventually agreed to meet. She reassured her mother that she would be fine and left the house. It was the last time her family saw her alive. The witnesses, the bridge, and the cold river. At dawn on the 5th of August, several witnesses testified that they saw 3 men on the Sherman-Minton Bridge struggling with an object that resembled a corpse before throwing it into the Ohio River. Hours later, Alberta's body was recovered downstream. The autopsy confirmed she had been struck hard on the head, rendered unconscious, and then thrown into the water, where she drowned. Her rented car was left abandoned a few blocks from the bridge, stained with blood inside. 3 years later, in 1968, her purse was found hanging on the bridge railing, still containing her credit cards and checkbook. Clear evidence that robbery was not the motive for the crime. A disappointing investigation. From the start, the investigation sparked much controversy. Despite witnesses and a clear timeline, no one was arrested. Her family believed that both racism and sexism made the police indifferent. Flora Shanklin once bitterly said, "If she had been a white, female prosecutor, they would have done everything to solve this case. But because she was black, they did nothing." That careless attitude was also shown in the disappearance of evidence. Police collected fingerprints, blood samples, cigarette butts, clothes, shoes, even the vacuum cleaner in the car. But when the case was reopened decades later, most of the evidence had vanished. The 17-year-old suspect. A turning point came in 2008 when the FBI matched fingerprints found in the car with the national database. The results corresponded to a 17-year-old at the time Jones was murdered. When interrogated, he agreed to take a polygraph test, and the results showed signs of deception when he answered questions about Alberta's death. However, by 2010, the local prosecutor still decided not to pursue the case, citing a lack of evidence along with the deaths of several witnesses and investigators. For the Jones family, this was nothing less than the final insult once again. Justice was denied even in the face of new leads, unfinished but renewed efforts. In 2013, Professor Lee Remington began a deeper investigation. She discovered many contradictions in the official statements, even proving that the police claim that all detectives involved in the case were already dead was false. One key investigator, Carl Corder, was still alive and provided new perspectives on the initial investigation. In 2017, the Alberta Jones case was reopened under the Emmett Till Act on unresolved civil rights crimes, providing funding for federal and local authorities to prosecute racially motivated murders before 1970. However, despite this renewed attention and the existence of suspects with physical evidence linking them, the murder of Alberta Jones remains officially unsolved to this day.